So you want to write a picture book, but you just don't know where to start? Here are some tips that I've put together for our new or aspiring authors. Follow along and let's get into it. So for picture books, there are a few things that you need to know when you're preparing yourself to write a picture book. Picture books are typically for children ages 0 to 8 years and typically fall into two categories. One, parent readers, and two, for early readers who are just coming along. Now, your picture books tend to be mostly pictures for children and have minimum text in this so that children can actually follow along. So when you're doing your picture books, ensure that your text, especially for the early readers, or tend to be maybe 2 sentences per page, and so you don't want to overwhelm your early readers. You want them to be able to use the pictures to help guide them along in the story. So ensure that your pictures are telling most of the story. The words should be just enough to keep them entertained or enticed. So for the newer or the non-readers, where these books are pretty much for adults who are reading to their children, these tend to be board books, and it's usually for ages 0 to 2. So you have your adults reading these board books. Again, for those board books, you probably have 1 word on each page, or probably have a sentence on each page, very short, 5-6 words on each page, because you want to ensure that you even though it's the babies, that it's stimulating. Quite a few people have been using black and white for board books for newborns because it tends to stimulate the eyes of these babies. So for ages 2 to 8, again, early readers or readers who are coming along, right? So you want to make sure that you choose your audience, that the words that you put on those picture books match the audience that you're seeking, right? Now, the other thing that you should take into consideration when doing your picture book are some things that we want to know about children, right? So children on a whole, especially in this age group, have very limited to nil experience in life. So everything is new to them. Everything seems exciting to them, right? They tend to take their time to look at their reflection in a puddle, or if they're driving in the car, they tend to watch the flowers or the plants moving in the wind. These are the things that catches the eye of children in those age group, right? So when you're doing your picture books, you want to focus on the details in the picture, in the graphics for these children, because a picture tells a story. A picture says 1,000 words, as we would say. So you want to ensure that your picture book is actually capturing the story, so that children when they're learning to read, they learn the way of using the pictures to help them learn to read. So the picture can tell the mood or the story. So you don't necessarily want your book, your picture book, to be the text to be so detailed that it's actually telling the story. right? Your picture book, the graphics itself should be telling the story. The text should be like an addition to what you're saying. But a child is supposed to be able to look at your book, look at the graphics in your book, and be able to identify what the story is telling, right? So bear that in mind. Children have little to no experiences, so everything is new to them. The next thing that you want to consider is that children have a very short attention span. So whatever you're doing, ensure that your text does not go all the way through and through, where it's just going on and on and on and on. Ensure that your text is limited, not limited, but tells the story in a short and spicy, quick way to get your message across. Do not go into too much details with the story for these children. So bear those things in mind when you're doing your picture books, and try to figure out what your audience needs and who it is that you're writing for, right? The longer the manuscript, the more difficult it may be for those children to read. And so consider the pages. You typically don't want more than, say, 12 pages of text. You can have more pages of graphics, but no more than 12 pages of text, because you want to keep your story short and tight. So when you're doing or creating your book, think also about your platform and the minimum page requirements. Amazon's minimum pages requirement is 24 pages for paperback. So you want to ensure that your text and your graphics all fall in line with those 24 pages. But ensure that your text does not go more than 12 pages, and for children, no more than, say, 20-25 words on each page for the older age group, maybe 5 to 8. But for the younger ones, again, you're looking at, especially for the board books, you're looking at maybe 1 word or 5 words per page, and not exceeding 12 pages of text. Your book itself is going to have more pages because you're using the graphics to tell the story. So bear that in mind, and remember when you're to consider these things when you're choosing the platform that you're going to publish on. So a typical book paperback tends to have between 24 and 32 pages. 32 being for the older children, maybe the 6 to 8, and 24 is maybe between 3 and 6. And so consider these things. Remember who you're writing for. Remember to keep it short and tight. And remember, before you start writing, to think about who it is that you're writing for. Ensure that you have the idea of your story. Ensure that you research your age group to figure out what exactly are the needs of those children and who it is that you're targeting. Is it adult readers who are going to be reading for their children, or are you targeting children who are early readers and are just coming along? So you have to know to choose your vocabulary. So this is the first in a series of how to write a picture book. I hope that you will journey along with me, and let us get you started in your author journey, your author business of becoming self-published authors. Now, if you like this video, you can always check out my other videos on my channel, but always remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more information on your author's journey. See you next time.